Here we have the current stock market update for Amazon.com Incorporated, stock ticker AMZN. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comments section so that other traders can find this information more easily on the platform. So as we can see here, this is the 4-hour price chart. Each candle on this time frame represents a 4-hour trading period. And we're starting to get some two-way price action in this stock. It's starting to get a bit choppy, and we are seeing some signals of some fairly significant breaks of support to the downside. This is something that we have been watching. In the prior video, I was talking about how this stock has traditionally, just historically, had a very difficult time maintaining itself above this 190 level. For whatever reason, I mean, are we starting to see some major selling pressure from insiders at that level type of a thing? But other than this brief movement above this $200 mark here, for the most part, this stock has a very difficult time maintaining a foothold above 190. So that doesn't necessarily mean that will continue in the future, but it has certainly happened in the past, and there have been many examples of that. So what we're seeing currently here is definitely some two-way price action. We're seeing things sort of move in both directions. This previous support zone that we were watching came in right around 185. We can see here that this level has broken to the downside. We are now just recently today actually starting to see some upward price gap type of movement, but then at the same time that's being sold immediately. So as we can see here, there is an upward price gap that did form here, but the candle is red. So price that what does that mean? It means prices gapped higher to start the trading session, and then immediately started reversing lower. There is now a price gap here that will need to be filled. And that is a sort of an issue that needs to be addressed for anybody that is currently long the stock or considering long positions. So, for the most part, what are we looking at here? We did see this downside support break after this failure again above 190. And now, for the most part, what we're dealing with is a potential break of the entire exponential moving average cluster on this time frame. As we can see here, there was some support that was generated by this 200 period exponential moving average. This came in just below 181, right around 180.90 or so. And, this will now be the main level of support to watch here going forward. If we do see a break below here, the only thing that could sort of hold up prices near term would be this 38.2% Fibonacci retracement zone, which is this orange zone here, which comes in right around 178.50. But there really isn't much else in that region to support prices. So I do think that if we see a break below, this would be just below 181. I do think that if we see a break below there, I think that would be the more significant price movement. And then I think you would probably see also a fall through this 38.2% fib zone as well. The ultimate momentum to the downside, I think, could be created by this 181 break. From there, you're really sort of looking at kind of the lower 170s as a possibility here. There is some support that comes in right around 168. 35 roughly. This prior support zone has now been broken to the downside. Overall, what we're looking at here, is the potential for further downside price movement. If we look at the indicator reading, what we can see is that, this recent upside has now been confirmed by a break in the upward momentum that had been generated for this stock previously. So if we go back to these prior lows in the relative strength index here, we can see that these match up fairly closely with those prior lows, which were seen at 150, 161 during the August 5 trading session. So that would be all the way back here. So these are some fairly significant price movements here that we're looking at. And what we can see here is that the upward momentum that was generated from those price lows has now been broken. So that would be, that's a negative signal as well. So, there are some negative developments here that are starting to unfold. Does this mean that we won't find a bottom? Not necessarily. We could look at the shorter term timeframes to sort of get a sense of how likely we are to continue moving lower here. So I will sort of drill down to the 30-minute price chart at the moment, and as we can see here, that main support zone really is found at right around 180, just below 181, roughly 180.90. And in order for us to sort of remove that bias, we would really need to see a break of, we with this price gap higher, we have actually seen a break through the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement, but the stock is having some difficulty maintaining those highs, and it does look like we could see a price gap being filled here. There are also price gaps in two directions, so we are seeing two-way price action here with two price gaps. I would think that it's going to be very difficult here to not fill this price gap. So if we do see share prices move lower, those price gaps kind of stop right around 182.10, 182.15. So I think it's going to be difficult for share prices to not fill this price gap. The trading session today is going to be easy because it is going to be easy as far as determining, what the ultimate trend direction will be next week, because we're seeing a lot of two-way price movement at the moment. And what we really need to see here, if you're bullish on this stock, would be a bounce from roughly 181.15. If we do see a break above there, then you do have some scope for some potential upside from there. But the dust needs to settle here a bit, and I really wouldn't recommend trading the stock at the moment. There's just too much going on here. We are seeing downside price movements, so my overall bias here would be in the negative direction. But you're seeing price gaps in two directions here, and this just looks incredibly choppy to me. Sort of unpredictable, because we did see this upward price gap to start the trading session, but then prices immediately reverse. We have price gaps here in both directions. I would prefer to wait and see whether or not some more solid and stable support zones start to form here. Because at the moment, I just think that if you were to enter into a position here, I do think that it would be a bit random and unpredictable as far as identifying where potential bottoms and tops actually rest. This price gap to the top side here did break through this resistance level at 186.60, but then we immediately reverse lower. So that starts to look like a false breakout here. Could be the most likely scenario. So here's the current stock market update for Amazon.com Incorporated, stock ticker AMZN. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.